The GoreCast is brought to you by American Horrors, the greatest uncut horror channel in the world. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all horror. As well as the station of decapitation without your head.
America's longest running horror channel, www.withoutyourhead.com.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Hello, what's up? Oh, okay. Now my audio is too loud. Okay, never mind. Okay. Okay, right.
This part is just right.
Okay, Mike's camera is too small, which I need to adjust.
Hey, never say that to a man.
No shit.
Mike's camera is perfectly adequate in size, and it's not about the size of the framing he has, it's about what he does with it. Is that better?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, right, that's back to there. That's all good. Okay, right. Okay, I suppose brief recap just for anyone who watches this and doesn't see the other thing on replay or whatever. Today's Today's episode is horror movies we're thankful for.
Welcome to the GoreCast, folks, where we're going to be going through our favorite films for films that we're thankful for. Sorry, it's just
And Giz is
turn
gone.
around as
Okay,
well.
cool. So anyway, continuing on. So anyway, I was saying the whole point of the episode today is we're doing horror movies that we're thankful for. We had gone through the news bits very quickly. So I suppose it would make sense, just in case anyone's watching on replay. First news bit was they're doing a new Puppet Master movie. Check the other video if you want more details. One after that then was Altered. The guy from Altered Carbon is in some sort of a horror. I'm actually going to have to bring Giz back. Hey, what's that horror movie thing with your man from Altered Carbon? I can't remember.
Anthony. Fuck, I can't remember.
Anthony Mackie's going to be appearing in a TV film for Netflix called The Ogun, which is set to see basically him playing a guy named Rhodes, whose daughter has inherited his same genetic disposition. He takes her to Nigeria to try and cure her of this. She gets kidnapped. He ends up going on a rampage through the Nigerian underground using whatever abilities this genetic disposition gives him, because that's kind of the way that it was put forth. It sounds like he's going to have superpowers. So I don't know. But yeah, so that's coming to Netflix. Not sure when.
And
though.
then the last thing which we hadn't really finished getting into was there's a new Predator movie, you said? That has nothing to do with the last Predator movie. We're going to forget about that one. Didn't happen.
Yeah, this film.
I'm
This film
going
is
to
actually
to not say a word of his opinion of the Predator.
what?
I'm going to challenge Giz to not say a thing about the Predator.
That's going to be difficult.
So for the first time, hang on. For the first time since 2010, we're going to be getting a decent Predator movie. Hopefully, it's going to be coming from Dan Trachtenberg. No, I didn't say that the last time. I said that it had nothing to do with that pile of scrap that got released in 2018, which was a deliberate, intentional, and willful insult to anyone that actually likes the Predator movies. Anything that actually takes the time to insult the franchise in the middle of it is just gone beyond taking the piss and has just been cocked up by some keyboard warrior, social wank stain, pointlessly correct moron that should never have been allowed near it in the first place. However,
See, should have let him go off about the Predator, dude.
Wait a minute. Do you not like the movie?
I feel better.
surprisingly enough, no, I don't. I really didn't like the whole fucking Iron Man ending at the end of it. That was another pile of shite. But anyway, this
I
film
don't
has been-
know, it's because Shane Black was attached to Wright, and it's like Shane Black. It's like you know these characters, you know the setup. Why did you allow it to go in this direction?
because clearly he's decided to succumb to whatever pressure forces people to write namby-pamby movies in today's pointlessly correct era. Now, hopefully this won't be, because it's kind of brought us 10 Cloverfield Lane. Now, admittedly, admittedly, the first Cloverfield film is absolute bollocks. But 10 Cloverfield Lane did manage to pull off being a decent enough, I want to say, psychological thriller for the most part.
It managed to be a whole separate movie that threw a fucking alien in on the ass end because, oh, fuck, how do we connect this? Here we go.
That's why I was saying it's a decent psychological thriller.
Well, it's like, I won't lie to you, out of all of the connections out of the three movies that are there, the connecting Cloverfield and 10 Cloverfield Lane is the most logical. Are you all frozen up?
Anyway, Darren Trachtenberg has been hired to direct the film, with Patrick Asen doing the script. Now, this film, they were actually hoping to kind of announce this. It was supposed to be a surprise. The way the 10 Cloverfield Lane just kind of appeared, they were hoping to kind of do the same thing with this. But unfortunately, things did not work out the way they had planned. So instead, it's just kind of announcing the film. There has been talk of, where is it now? Sorry, my computer is frozen because I tried to make it actually do stuff.
I don't know what that's like.
This happens.
When I read it, it was kind of coming back to like after the second one, like picking up from there. Completely, unfortunately, like completely negating like Predator and
the new one?
No, like it was kind of kicking back like Predator Planet and the new one. Like it was.
I would have actually like to be honest, 2010's Predators was supposed to get a sequel whereby it would have Josh Brolin as Royce and Isabella, and they were on the planet trying to figure a way out of it. But every time a Predator movie gets made, it seems that there's a plan to do more, and then for whatever reason that plan doesn't come to fruition, and they move in a different direction. Now that's a good thing this time around, because moving away from is very good.
It's very good.
Because I dug Predators, and I could have like watched a franchise being built off the planet, and just landing somewhere else or whatever. But I really after seeing 2018, I was like, please just
no more. No more.
No, the thing is, with Disney having a... Go on, what were you going to say?
Sorry, go ahead. I was saying, the only thing I really recall from is just how much it confirmed that Adrian Brody, no leading male. I was so impressed. He got ripped to shit in that movie, but as a leading male, good God, he can't do it. Well, it was my same issue with Splice.
I was kind of surprised that they ripped.
You're a great supporting actor, but leading a movie, like you're not strong enough.
I don't know, man. I thought he did good in Splice. I'll give you Predators. Like he just didn't really have the take for it, but I thought he did good in Splice.
He looked
honestly. I thought
when he comes to the final fight, and the shirt comes off. I'm not a gay man, but I'm looking at that. I'm thinking I'm getting a little bit wet here.
Okay.
Splash.
Firstly, the original Predator movie, let's not forget, was conceived originally because Rocky Balboa had no one else to fight on the planet after Rocky IV. That's not a joke. Deadpan fucking serious. Somebody had made the joke after Rocky IV came out. There's nobody left for him to fight. We'll have to bring him an alien for the next movie. So then Jim and John Thomas kind of went, so they wrote this film about a bunch of different alien species tracking and hunting down a bunch of different other alien species, I guess, and that got streamlined into the Predator hunting a human, and even even during production, that got changed because the look of the Predator had to be changed completely. That to get in Kevin Peter Hall to replace Van Damme, because Van Damme was Lilliputian compared to fucking Schwarzenegger and
I
Carl Weathers.
don't do prosthetic suits. My face is not going to be in the movie. Splits and punching nuts.
That was part of it as well. The fact that he was in the suit and the fact that he was complaining all the fucking
And
time.
French.
But even when they got,
I didn't realize old boy got put in the suit.
Yeah, Van Damme was supposed to be
was
the
a different
Predator
suit.
initially.
it was a different suit that Van Damme was in. But they recast it. They got in Kevin Peter Hall. They redesigned the suit. A lot of different stuff went into it. But yeah, this new film, like I said, apparently it's been in the works for the last 4 or 5 years. So it predates the pile of scrap from 2018. Now, here's the interesting part. Dan Trachtenberg had previously there had previously been announced that he was working on a film called Skulls, but not a lot of details about the film were brought out, apart from the fact that it was supposed to follow a Comanche woman who goes against gender norms and traditions to become. Now, that could still theoretically be this new Predator movie. You know, that's a very plausible and very workable thing, or it could be a completely different project altogether. But at the very least, at least we're safe in the notion that hopefully this will be, I mean, basically this is hopefully Disney's chance to kind of go, it's okay, I know we stole all your cool shit, but we're not going to cock it all up, because they kind of did with the last one. But now it seems that there's a couple of films that have come out recently whereby Disney has owned the rights and they've kind of stepped back and kind of gone, okay, we admit we kind of touched things when we shouldn't have touched them, and now we're going to just leave you alone to grow up like a good little boy.
Sorry, I gotta ask. There's a couple that came out that Disney backed up. Which one?
From Disney?
2018.
Yeah.
Well, but that's...
You said that they learned their lesson and backed up, and they were like, hey, do you. I was just kind of curious as to which one that was, or which ones.
Ready or Not.
Oh, okay.
And
I forgot about
Ready
that
or Not
one.
was
All right.
one, and there's another upcoming one called Antlers. Basically, the idea is the people, search companies that are bringing out these films, Disney's their parent company.
Okay.
Like, Disney owns the world now, so
I'll give you fucking Ready or Not. That turned out to be a bomb fucking movie. I dug it.
That is a great movie.
Yeah.
Antlers hasn't come out yet, but you know that's another example of one whereby they've kind of gone, okay, maybe we should just let them do what they're doing and not interfere too much.
I literally recommend that movie to anybody that will listen.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Ready or Not? Oh yeah,
I just don't remember Antlers. Like, maybe you guys talked about it, but I just don't remember the news bite on that one. So
is that the Guillermo del Toro?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
I still need to watch that one.
Yeah.
It's not out yet.
Yeah.
So we all still need to watch that.
Ready or Not. That was a good one.
Ready or Not.
See,
Here I come.
I'm not going to lie.
I know
The fact that this film is going to be a whole new thing again is what's really got me excited, because I had heard that they were going to be doing more films, but unfortunately what I had heard was that they were going to be doing more films to follow on from the other thing, and that was kind of... But
I heard that at one point. I was just kind of disappointed as fuck on that one.
Yeah, but then that was compounded, and well, you see, I was kind of a little bit iffy with this other little tidbit, because I'm me. The idea of a Predator cartoon both excited and depressed me at the same time, because we did nearly get an Aliens cartoon in the 90s. This getting it. You know?
From the video game, the Alien vs Predator video game, that was meant to be syndicated for Saturday mornings.
Well, before it even, when Nico brought out their Alien and their Predator toys, especially the Alien ones, all the Alien toys, all the Marines, all the aliens themselves, all had these mini comics, and those mini comics were going to be a lead-in for the cartoon that came out. There was test footage of about 5 minutes or something like that done, and the artwork is all the character designs are basically the designs of the characters for the Nico toys, the changes they made from the original characters in the films, and all the different alien variations they come up with. Those were things that were going to be highlighted in the series. So that could have been cool. And like I said, the idea of a Predator or an Alien cartoon, I kind of go with, but what?
Bill said, Bill said, caption for that Predator pic on screen: Predator loves to stare into the eyes of prey while having a shit. Kind of not wrong. Just gonna say.
Yeah.
So, we've let Giz rant. We're here to talk movies we're thankful for. Let's get this back on track.
Ah, but you see, that's just it.
That'll
That news
last
bit
about 2
was
seconds.
that news
Have
bit
you
was
been
relevant.
secretly discussing a movie you're thankful for? Is that
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Predator?
So I guess we'll just lead into Predator there. So, Giz, will we?
Oh, Giz outsmarted us. There we go.
See, this is why I love Giz. You look at him and think, okay. But then the man talks and you think, okay. But then you listen to it more and you think, oh, okay. Where did that come from?
If you know Giz, you knew this was going to be on the list.
Yeah, it's kind of the film that helped me be me. To be perfectly honest, I was introduced to the Predator at a very young age, like 6, I think.
You be you. I don't want to insult you, but you kind of remind me of Riff Raff from the Rocky Horror Picture Show with glasses.
That's only because at the time someone hadn't shaved their head and gone on to do the Crystal Maze.
I love Richard O'Brien. My God, do I want to see you with a shaved head? You would rock it.
No,
I'm telling you, dude.
Okay.
That advert for Bald to Badass is like just shave your head and grow a goatee.
I know what I would look. Hang on, I know exactly what I would look like with a shaved head. All I have to do is go look at my outfit and he's fucking uncle.
But you grow a goatee.
No. So anyway, yeah. Film I'm thankful for, 1987's The Predator, because I saw it at a young age and went, I like this. This is great, and that got me on the road to the sci-fi, horror, and ultra violence.
Oh, dude, yeah, it
taught me
definitely
taught me the most valuable lessons of all, and that is the fact that this world, regardless of how you view it or what you think about it, is just nothing but predators and prey. And if you are not a predator, then you are going to be somebody else's fucking prey.
How old were you? Sorry, quick question. How old were you when you watched this movie?
1987, I think it came out.
7 or 8. Do you not think that's a bit of a dark train of thought for a 7 or 8-year-old to have?
Obviously, watching the film years later, that's kind of how it.
Oh right,
but at the time,
I just had this vision of like little 8-year-old kids just halfway through the movie, just like fuck them, fuck them all.
At the time though, at the time though, it did teach me a lot of very valuable lessons when playing 45, or as you Americans call it, hide and seek.
I'm curious, Giz, was The Predator your gateway movie into horror?
Into proper sci-fi horror, yeah.
Ah, okay. Like, mine was The Fly.
It's the earliest.
I think mine was fucking Predator, actually.
Evidently, you were 5. He probably didn't see it when he was 5, Bill.
Yeah, Bill. It came out in '87, but don't forget, '80s.
You were 5 in '87.
Yeah, I was born in 1982. Congratulations, you can add.
Okay.
Testy.
Wait, his shock is killing me. How old are you?
I was born in 1982.
Oh, same age as me.
38.
I'm the baby.
Yeah, and I'm still the fucking old man. All right.
Don't kick the baby.
The film was brought out in 1987. I was 5, but we are in fucking Ireland. So back then, it took 2 years for the film to get over here. So by the time it's on video or whatever in Ireland, I'm now 7 or 8. So it gets rented and I go to watch it.
How are you 38?
What?
Sorry, Bill O'Donoghue. Silent Bob, me. What's your birthday? September 5th. So he's probably got a couple of months on me, rough guess.
What the? No. You're in the same month.
Try 21 days.
There's 3 weeks between you and me.
You're older than by 3 weeks.
I'm older than you by 26th of September. How am I older than you? What the fuck?
Okay, Bill called that February 10th.
I'm sorry for laughing at you.
So this week on the GoreCast, we discussed genealogy and genetics.
And I'm feeling sexy.
It's the other shows where we end up discussing other mad fucking shite that have nothing to do with what we're talking about at the time.
I'm just saying, like, next guest, I would like to be the younger of the 4, all right?
I'm just going to join Carter and play with my hair.
Carter, I'm not trying to sound like an asshole here. I'm not. How old are you again?
You're gonna be?
How old are you again?
45.
How old is Tom?
Tom, 50.
Okay, I could try and get Tom on the show if that's any
Okay.
good. But other than that, unless Heart's down, I'm fucking shit out of luck.
It would just be nice to be like a bar below somebody else for once, dude.
And just to say, for those people who don't know who Tom is, he's got a channel called The Newbie Reviews. If you haven't seen it, you need to find it. He's the most adorable, dark, twisted motherfucker you'll ever see. And he's so fun and so adorable and so fucking mean.
And dirty. He's like senile granddad dirty. Do you know what I mean? It's like not offensively dirty, but it's just that type of sort of granddad kind of dirty, you know.
Yeah, not Uncle Knobhead kind
We
of
have
dirty.
very different grandfathers.
I've never met either of mine, so
Bill's like, you spent many years cheesing cat piss. The fuck is that? Or is that just like a typo?
South Park.
Looking older than he
It's
is.
South Park. Remember all the lads in South Park got high because they were sniffing cat piss?
Never watched it.
You've never watched South Park?
You get up. All right, okay.
Oh,
To be
dude,
fair,
it's
South
funny.
Park is very
I
hit
don't
and
know what
miss.
you kids like, but I didn't like it.
Okay, let's bring this back to the point. You've been asking about
Yeah,
movies that we're thankful for.
He hasn't even talked about Predator, Mike. Give him a minute. It just turned into a bash giz. Hang on a minute. I'm going to stand up for my co-host here for a second. It just turned into a bash giz session, and he hasn't even got to talk about Predator outside of the news bit. He got to do a brief synopsis of what led him into sci-fi horror, at which point it all went tits up from there. So, Giz, is there any more you'd like to say about Predator before we move on? Please don't say no, because I'm going to feel like an asshole.
Okay. So yes, as I said, it is the film that kind of got me on the path to really got me into the idea of sci-fi horror, because I was always into science fiction and fantasy, but here was basically an action movie that had this creature from outer space coming along. And one of the things that the film does is it takes the time to set up the fact that when Schwarzenegger and his band of merry men go into the jungle, they're actually the fucking top of their game. They're actually the best of the best, and that's the
They
point.
had a handshake that
They're
nearly
brought in-
blew a building apart. I mean, Jesus Christ.
They're brought in under false pretenses, told that they're supposed to be rescuing somebody that unfortunately crashed on the wrong side of the Guatemalan border. It turns out that Carl Weathers, as the CIA operative, has basically lied his ass off because the lads he sent in kind of ended up not coming back. They get found in. Yeah, they do eventually get found hanging skinless from a tree. So
I still remember that one very well.
Poor Jim Hopper. Poor Jim Hopper. So but the point is that
Stranger Things, Jim Hopper. Have I missed something?
No.
Okay, the Green Berets that are sent in by Dylan in Predator to try and rescue his CIA operative that he has lied to Dutch about, saying he's a cabinet minister, are led by a man named Jim Hopper. So another one of those things where Stranger Things went, what's a really cool 80s name?
Yeah. 80s this, we need to 80s that. Not that I have an issue with it, because they 80s everything quite well. Quite well. Okay.
But
as much as I love the movie, for some reason the whole Jesse Ventura thing just fucked me up in that one.
Why?
It just sounded like it was just seeing him
make you a man, make you a sexual tyrannosaurus, just like
right,
that.
like just his whole character, like not in a bad way, just
takes
funny.
people's leftovers.
Sorry. What?
A T-Rex, mainly a scavenger that eats leftovers.
Not in Jurassic Park. That's not what happens.
Yeah, there's a lot of things wrong with Jurassic Park.
I know. I'm just saying. I
Transformation
just like Jurassic Park. You know, man off a toilet.
One cool bit of trivia from Predator is, Jesse Ventura's gun, the minigun.
Yeah,
they refer to it as Old Painless.
Yeah.
So apparently you'd be dead before you even felt the pain of the impact.
Oh yeah.
Arnie never got to use it, but I think it was 5 years later, Terminator 2. It's the same gun that he uses to mow down the entire police force outside Cyberdyne Industries. I thought, Arnie's using Old Painless. So like,
here's another interesting tidbit. Do you remember I was saying that there was a redesign on the look of the Predator between Van Damme and Kevin Peter Hall taking.
It's like a cockroach kind of man.
Yeah,
type.
they actually it's actually interesting in the film Predators from 2010. The alien life form that's being hunted along with the humans on that world. That's what the original design of the Predator was, or something a little bit akin to that. Now the thing is,
dude, I have to watch it again. I vaguely remember it.
Yeah. Now, when Stan Winston was brought in to kind of help redesign it, he was actually on a plane sitting next to James Cameron. Yeah, and he was doing up a bunch of different designs. It was actually James Cameron that went, "I'd love to see something with mandibles." And Stan Winston kind of went,
"What if we do this?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool."
Dude, I gotta say, to this day, I still the shield or the faceplate removal. I love seeing the Predator. It's such a badass. And I mean, you think about it, like that motherfucker's now popped up in like Mortal Kombat. Like it's just one of those characters that everybody fucking see.
It's a pop culture.
The thing about Predator that made him so badass is that like samurai honor that they have. Do you know what I mean? Like, say when you get to like in the first Predator, where he's there standing by Dutch, and it's a case of I'm all here with my gear, and you're just a dude covered in mud. And he's just like, okay, we're going to take this off, and we're going to fucking duke it out like a pair of big boys.
It's actually, it's not quite, you are right about the honor thing, but that's not what that was about. That was actually, if you watch the films, all the Predator films, the hardest, toughest Predator in any of the films is actually the first one. And you can tell because the only weapons he uses are the wrist gauntlets, the shoulder cannon, and the cloak. The idea is he's been
and the massive honking explosive.
So
Don't forget the massive honking explosive.
No, that's not a weapon.
That would be like I'm about to die, so fuck you all.
Still use it.
The whole point. Hang on. The whole point is that he has been doing this so long, and he has gotten so good at it that the better he gets, the less weaponry he needs. It's a personal challenge. That's the whole idea of the film. The Predator is challenging itself. That's why the first half of the movie is establishing the fact that Dutch's lads are fucking rock hard. He's watching them. He's seeing if they're worth it, if they're actually in the first place, what tactics they use, what's their strengths, what's their weaknesses. When he's facing off against Dutch at the very end of it, he's fighting a guy that has no weapons, that has been able to figure out how he sees, how he works. He's facing him on an even keel as he can. So it's just hand to hand. Okay, yeah, he's got the wrist blades, but Dutch is still physically the largest human in the group. He's the biggest threat, both because of his physicality and because he was the one that kind of figured out, okay, he's hunting us. This is how we should react to it. Instantaneous. As soon as you can even see it in the film, as soon as he twigs it that we're being hunted, he automatically looks up, looks at the trees, and realizes that's why we can't find their tracks. We've been looking for soldiers. This isn't a soldier. We are being hunted by somebody. We have to adjust how we think. We have to adjust our tactics. And so, like I said, by the end of the movie, the Predator has realized
get the railgun out.
What railgun? No, that's after the minigun.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, I know. I just wanted to get the minigun back in play. Sorry.
Have you actually seen what's going on in the comments of this at the moment?
Bill
is
fucking
joking
as much as I fucking can.
So hard to be serious while reading shit.
Okay, well,
Johnny, apparently you are my Jason Mewes.
If you want to be technical, evidently we are all varying age differences of Jason Mewes, according to Bill. I am young Jay, which makes sense because I have rocking long hair and I'm crass as fuck. Carter is prime Jay, and
Giz is old Jay.
Giz is old Jay. Yeah.
You ran away with twigs on Wednesday, Bill.
I'm Prime Bob. I will take Prime Bob, even though my hair's.
No,
I'm rocking the curve.
You know what? And you know what? Like, as I look at Predator, you may not like the sequels, but one thing I did appreciate, even
actually,
for the whole
all the sequels except 2018. That just didn't happen.
I'm just saying, for those of us that did not, I'm just like pointing out there that even if you may not have liked all of the sequels and spin-offs, they did a good job of like coming up with new tech for each one. Like you saw a different tech and say Aliens versus Predator.
I love the
saw
net.
Just
part of
also the Razornet. I adore the Razornet. Really
that's a bad bitch right there.
Yes, sir.
And the discus, the bladed discus, that was cool as fuck.
But part of the weaponry that they come up with for the preceding films Predator 2 came out in 1990, so that was like straight up. So they have the disc, they have the net. But films after that, the innovations that came with the way that some of the, like, you have different weaponry in for the Predators, a lot of that came from stuff that had been done in the comics that followed on once the movies were out. Particularly, the Alien vs. Predator comic was just about to come out, I think, before or after Predator 2, which is why you have the alien skull in the trophy room of the Predator ship as kind of a nod to that.
I think for me, like, I just slowly liked all of the buildup. Like, you saw in Predator 2 when you saw the different skulls and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, the trophy cabinet.
Yeah, like, the movies may have sucked over time, but I still loved all of the little added history that they added to the characters.
Yeah.
I even like, as much as I didn't like 2018, and what was that? I think it was Alien Predator 2. They brought out, like, the fucking Predator dog. Like, I just kind of dug all of the little add-ons that they've done to the franchise character-wise.
Okay, in Predators they had in
Not
Predators
2018
2010.
necessarily, but I still dug the fact that it wasn't just this
Cool.
they added to all of it.
Fucked everything up in 2018, all of it. The idea of using human DNA as part of the Predator, the idea of the Predators manipulating.
No. I did not. No.
Hang on. They already had hunting dogs from 2010.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is, like, I did not like 2018. I'm just saying, like, I dug the fact that they brought the dogs in. They updated the weaponry. Like, we got to see new shit each time.
Unfortunately,
again, 2018 sucked balls, bro. I'm not going to
Sorry.
The more I watch that film, it's just, I find myself losing patience with it earlier and earlier, and basically just seeing all the things that were just so wrong with it. And they start off so well. That entire thing starts exactly like the original Predator movie, and it just but yeah, I mean, like I was saying, the reason that for me it's a film that I'm thankful for is because it did get me properly rolling on that science fiction horror path. Because I had seen bits of horror before. I had seen snippets of horror movies, but Predator was probably the first time that I'd sat down and properly watched a film fully through. And I accept the fact that it is 90% action movie, and the horror aspect is the notion of this guy coming along and skinning people, hunting them down, basically taking the old
rip spine and skull still attached.
That scene was he's ripping it.
Yeah, I'll keep that. Like,
that's fucking, it's great. And like, it's it's
and it tormented its prey, because I mean, like, he hung everybody upside down, and when they came into shit, it's like
that wasn't his reasoning for doing it.
No, but it just the fact that it did that.
Yeah, he was dressing a deer, except it's dressing a human rather than a deer.
Yeah,
you know.
We're gonna start moving on to now.
Okay.
It was been about an hour on the Predator.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think that Gears may have a semi on right now.
He loves Predator.
I understand why.
Okay, do you want to go next, Mike? The
movies I'm thankful for. You know what? For the sake of time, I'm going to give you 2 for 1, because they both represent similar reasons why I'm thankful that they exist. And I'm going to go for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I'm going to go for Evil Dead. Independent filmmaking that turned people's heads and proved that you don't have to be a Hollywood studio, you don't have to be a massive production company to create a movie that will absolutely hit every note that you want as a fan of that genre. Now, in regards to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, what I love about that was the fact that it changed the whole premise of horror movies from what used to be considered folklore creatures, monsters, ghosts, aliens. It got changed to actual. We'd never seen a genuine 100% horror movie with a human antagonist before. I mean, we'd seen dark thrillers like Psycho, but that wasn't considered horror. That was considered dark thriller. You know, we've seen movies of killers, but never an actual pure, unadulterated horror movie with a human antagonist. And bringing that forward into the public and being such a phenomenal movie, being at the time, I think it was 1974, the most terrifying movie ever made of its time. And even today, it still stands as a really intense human antagonistic horror movie. It's like what came in the wake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He paved the way for movies like Friday the 13th, Halloween. Even if you look at the masked antagonist, the whole boogeyman in Freddy Krueger, they all stem from that human life form, albeit a little bit supernatural in some of its inspirations. But what that movie signified, this era, bringing it into the real world, because it was based on reality, specifically Ed Gein, which I'm sure you're all aware of.
Yeah.
The influences that man had, like again, going back to Norman Bates in Psycho, going to the Bubba Sawyer, and going to even Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs. What that movie signified was the biggest step of evolution within horror movies. And without that, we wouldn't have some of the greatest movies we have today. The darkest of thrillers. I mean, even something like Seven or Silence of the Lambs. So the creation of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I am so thankful for, because it's opened up this whole new world of horror.
I fully get what you're saying, and you're like, oh, it brought in the realism, but you still got the most annoying fucking crippled character that I have ever seen in any fucking film.
But hang on a minute. Hang on.
I don't like, no. I don't feel like we are that fucking annoying.
Dude, he was put in there as an aggro device. That was his literal job, was to be annoying cunt.
I just, dude, it's personal. Like, I just,
Are you a chair user?
Yeah.
I was aware of this, but yeah, he is an annoying as fuck character.
Oh yeah. Like,
totally
they wanted to build like a God, I hope you die soon character, and they did such a good job. That guy was amazing.
Speaking as a chubby guy, it's like one thing that's always pissed me off about many horror movies is where you get a fat guy in a movie. He's always there just to play the fat guy. You're going to be eating a candy bar and you're going to die fucking embarrassingly. So I know where you're coming from. Yours is a lot more personal.
Right.
So it's fucking bullshit.
Or black, like it's a fucked up little scenario. But no, like I said, I think we talked about this on one of the other shows. I will give to the actor. He was an amazing guy, because holy shit, he just killed fucking annoying.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, I mean, they did kind of set the standard of the character archetypes.
Oh yeah,
which would later be used in every future, especially teen slashers. I mean, a lot of people credit, I think it was The Breakfast Club, for archetyping specifically. You got the jock, the nerd, the princess, the basket case.
Is that kind of the first one where it literally put them into their groups?
I believe
it was there. It wasn't fully emphasized, but again, you had your individual with disabilities, you had your princess, you had your jock. It wasn't as black and white as it was later in cinema.
Yeah.
But your somewhat protagonist, or
it was pretty black and white in Breakfast Club.
Your fodder, yeah. It was there, not as prominent as it became. But that movie itself, the fact that you had this company, you had Toby Hooper and Kim Henkel, who made this picture just because they wanted to. They were inspired by real world events. And they want, excuse me.
Better out than in.
Sorry. It's the whiskey. And it just, this movie that it was possibly the first movie that everybody spoke about. I mean, you've had movies since then, likes of The Exorcist, The Shining, but nothing. It was the first movie to really bring horror to the masses, because it was real. It wasn't based on mythology. It wasn't based on fiction. It was based on real world events, and they actually had a real, potentially real antagonist in the
relatively
film.
Real.
Obviously the liberties were taken to bring this character
relatively
to life, but the entire family. So yeah, I'm incredibly thankful for to Toby Hooper and Kim Henkel, who does not get enough respect, for creating this movie and evolving horror into something much more personal. rather than
Well,
just
Yeah.
existing within fiction. It could exist within reality, and that never existed prior.
And I think that's something kind of me and Giz have talked about, that there's not enough acknowledgement on old school because everybody looks at like Saw and, Hostel and all that, and they look at the gore factor. But none of that shit would have come had you not had a solid horror foundation to build up off of.
And another
it's-
thing, the Texas Chainsaw, it was banned in many countries for being a
It was a proper
film.
video nasty for years.
You analyze the film, there's very little gore, and there's implied violence, but not actual violence.
Which is nearly more terrifying.
It's such a clever film.
The very fact that you have characters in the movie who basically make it their life's work to find people, skin them, wear them, and eat them.
In that order.
And all of a sudden, this is getting presented to the masses, and like you said, inspired by real events, but perhaps at the time, not everyone would have been aware of the real events. So as a result, for this to be up on the cinema screen and be bombarded with it, people are looking going, what are we watching? How can anyone what possible mind could have conceived of people that would do things like this? And then all of a sudden, the guy that actually fucking did it. And that aspect of it, that's right that you were speaking of. That's the idea that, holy shit, these are admittedly exaggerated characters, but at the same time, the idea that you could have people living in the middle of fucking nowhere.
It's not out of the realms of reality.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. And do it without getting caught 2, 3, 5 days later, kind of shit.
And it's something that's been kind of touched on and reused again in TV shows and in films, whereby you end up, for whatever reason, having characters like this who are basically living on long pork and wearing people for clothes. And over time, it's the shock factor has gone down to the point that we now have fucking gore porn like Hostel, whereby you don't need a story, you just need a lot of blood and loose appendages. And all of a sudden, people think it's the greatest thing in the world. It's not. That's the greatest thing in the world is
Eli Roth in a nutshell.
Yeah. And what actually works for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the fact that a lot of the horrific nature of the characters is implied rather than shown. We do see stuff, obviously, but it's more evidential than actually seeing them do things on screen. We don't see them skinning anybody. We don't see them plucking the bones and turning them into ornaments. But we do see all of that evidence around the house.
It's not just down to the setting as well. It's also down to the very, he stays on long shots that make you take in the visceralness of everything that's going on. And the bits of violence that you do see are, while not gory, so
they're intense.
They're intense, yeah. Like when he just walks in and just hoofs, you're like, you think there's going to be a bit of a fight, and he just hops your one clean onto the fucking meat hook, and it's like, you stay there now. Do you know what I mean? You're just like, Jesus Christ. Do you know? You don't see.
You just referenced Paul.
You've just referenced for me, when they first walk into the house and you see all of the bone chandeliers and chairs and stuff like that, your mind starts reeling. That took a lot more fucking people than one or two. You just start filling in all of that catastrophe, in your own mind and shit.
There's 2 points I'd like to make about that movie. Johnny just mentioned one where she gets put on the meat hook. What do you physically see on screen? Nothing.
Nothing. It's just her getting hopped on a meat hook.
You see the hook penetrating. You don't see it grabbing her. You don't see any blood, anything. You just see a guy go.
And you know exactly what they've done.
Yeah.
He's lifting onto a box, and it's all implied.
Oh, yeah.
You don't see shit. The other thing that I'd want to point out about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I mean, it's right there in the name, Chainsaw Massacre. There's only one person that actually gets damaged with a chainsaw, and do you know who that is?
It's the girl that gets away.
It's Leatherface.
No.
Or Leatherface, sorry.
Yeah.
He's chasing Marilyn Burns, and he trips and falls, and the chainsaw hits his leg. He's the only person to actually, you see contact of a chainsaw with the actual victim of the chainsaw, and that's the user.
Now, like I said, sorry, I didn't want to overstep. like because like me and Giz both feel differently about Hostel and all that. I feel like everything has its place in the genre. You know, I don't mind zoning off on Hostel and stuff like that, but to me, it's not the end all be all. Texas Chainsaw Massacre was because they make you fill in all those fucking blanks. To me, that's a better film because you can easily like, okay, throw a severed arm over there, fuck that. But like when you just have a guy off camera and some chick screaming bloody fucking murder, I'm like, oh, that's a toe, that's a leg. Oh my god, like those are better films to me. You know what I mean? I'm not knocking Hostel because I do enjoy them. But I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre for what it is.
The issue with the Hostel movies are that they're gore over substance, aren't they? Like you couldn't give a fuck about the storyline when you go to watch a Hostel movie. You're going in because you're like, okay, people are going to get fucking mangled about 50 minutes into this movie.
Because you know I literally don't have to pay attention to Hostel. I can walk in and out of the room all fucking day and like, oh, I love this scene because the dude's going to get his fucking fingernails cool, whatever. But you're not missing storyline. When you're watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you're like, wait, why is everybody arguing? That's fucking story.
Like Hostel 2 is literally, it's chicks are on holidays in Eastern Europe. Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, that dude from the last movie showed up very, very loosely.
Right. They had to write an opening, and then they filled it till credits to everybody fucking dying as most painfully as possible.
Yep.
Like that was fucking it.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre works the same way a good rendition works, whereby it's at the end of the day, what works for horror is
tension,
the unknown, fear of the unknown. You know, people are most afraid of what they don't understand and what they don't know. Yep. So as a result, when it comes to, like I said, renditions are the best ones that pop into my head. When it comes to inflicting fear on people, the best way of doing it is to let their own imagination come up with what could possibly happen. And that's what Texas Chainsaw Massacre does.
The terrifying thing with Texas Chainsaw is that, unlike a lot of other killers and things that have gone around, where you kind of need to figure out what the guy does and how that works and all of this kind of thing, Texas Chainsaw, you're able to get on board with what's happening. Very fucking lively. Oh, that's a dude wearing somebody else's face with a fucking chainsaw. Fuck.
And okay, like that right there, like, wait, he's wearing somebody else's face. Like, that took some time to fucking put together. Like, this dude has a fucking hobby. So, like, that fucks you up. You know, but, like, you look at, like, say, Psycho, you know, you've got the fucking shower scene. Like, those moments are what build a fucking movie, if that makes sense. You know, like, those are what make iconic films. As much as I like Hostel and all that shit, that's dead. And as soon as it it comes out in a week, everybody's watched it, and then it just kind of falls into the void. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard for me to remember which one's Hostel 1, which one's Hostel 2, because, like, fuck it. Somebody's getting a fucking toenail ripped out in one of them. Fuck it.
It's very easy to remember. Hostel 1 is dudes, and Hostel 2 is chicks. Other than that, it's the same fucking movie.
Right. But that's what I mean. Like, they all just blend together, but I'm like, oh, hey, that happened in fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I just need to show up and say I'm actually friends with one of the actresses from Hostel 2. And she has the most iconic death in the movie, and that's Heather Matarazzo. And she's the one with, I hate to say this because she's a lovely, lovely person, but she's got the big teeth. And she's the one that ends up getting stripped naked, hung upside down.
On Friend.
And gets scythed. Yeah. And,
oh, wow.
I just wanted to point out that, you know, I chat with Heather Matarazzo now and again.
Probably more
the movie
now than again.
I mean, I don't know what Carter's opinion is of it. You seem to like the films. It's like the first one. I love the concept. I just don't think it was explored as well as it possibly could be. I think they focused too much on the actual torture side of things rather than the potential storyline.
Like it could have been Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but we got lazy and just decided to fill it in with a bunch of bullshit. And that's what that franchise was. Like, it's just torture porn. Saw, Hostel.
I forget
what it's a bit different. At least the first two films.
The first
two, but again, it falls into that same lazy, like, because everybody liked it for the torture.
There's no torture in Saw.
And so, like, they just kind of kept going for that, like, mindless gore. And so when I'm like,
have you ever seen it's a French movie, what's it called?
Irresistible. Irreversible.
Not Martyrs. It's part of the 2000s
Irreversible.
Extreme Gore.
Irreversible.
No, not Irreversible. Frontiers.
Oh yeah.
That is.
Never heard about it.
That is basically the ticker, but focusing on the gore and torture, and it's actually a really good, fun, dark, gory action film.
Yeah.
There's a political, the tone, message. But if you want, if you
is that the one where there's a
comparing,
family living under, like, in subterranean something or other?
they have like a motel, and whoever stays at the motel, they get to stay for free, but they never leave.
Yeah.
Basically. Underneath the hotel, they've got
Because you asked.
The plan is to get all of them pregnant or to impregnate their own, to grow their own family. And if they don't agree to it, they will torture them until they do.
Yeah, it was all right. It was gruesome, like, but it was like, yeah.
No, like, because you asked, like, this is kind of my thing. Like, I like good story, and I like, engaging characters and stuff like that. But at like 3 a.m, like, I can't sleep to save my fucking ass. So at 3 a.m, I'm bored. I wish I could go to sleep, so I throw on like mindless bullshit, which then turns out to be like Hostel, Saw, that kind of thing. I'm like, I don't have to, like, if I fall asleep, I'm not missing some engaging storyline. I'm just like, oh yeah, that guy got cut. Fuck it, whatever. Like, it's that kind of thing.
You got more than
I feel like
in Saw or Hostel. Let's be straight.
Which leads me perfectly onto the second movie, for similar reasons but different, of The Evil Dead. Because that is a complete. There is no character development in that film whatsoever.
I thought that you were picking like chainsaws.
I do have a for chainsaws. No, my reason for Evil Dead, have a go mentality of a group of friends that love movies, that love horror, that just put their brains together to create this movie that became a worldwide phenomenon.
Sorry.
Again, because it did everything that people wanted from a horror movie. It's like they put the gore, the guts, the extremity, and they create this movie. And even to this day, people still love about it. I mean, I've got to show off. I am rocking the T-shirt tonight. Evil Dead 2 is one of my all-time favorite horror movies. But that movie signifies matter if you have contact in Hollywood, if you have all the money under the sun, all you need is a can-do attitude and the ambition to create something that you want to create, and you can achieve it.
Sorry.
To me, like, Evil Dead and Night of the Living Dead are the same thing. Like, if you have a goal and you push, you can achieve it.
Yeah. In a similar vein, it's why I have a lot of respect for Peter Jackson. If you look at his early work,
Brain Dead
and Bad Taste. Again, it was him and a group of friends.
Meet the Feebles.
We've already spoken about.
Dude, like, Meet the Feebles fucked me up. I'm sorry. I'm not
That'll
gonna lie.
break your brain.
Show on fucking.
That'll break your brain. That movie.
Like, it took 2 takes. I was like, I gotta take a break. I can't fucking do
puppets, this. There's very weird. I don't know how I feel about this. I was not the if you like Meet the Feebles, what was that? What was that one you got me watching before, Giz?
Craig the
Bunny. That's fucking.
There's another. Actually, there's another one called Mongrels. That's all about like cats.
That's brilliant.
I think one of the first episodes, you have one cat visiting another cat, and it's like, how's it going? Not too bad. My owner died. Oh, cool. We're eating tonight.
You're not wrong. Not wrong. Everyone's, cats are adorable. They will eat your fucking eyes the minute you're asleep too long. The minute you're in a deep sleep, that they're like, is it dead? Is it not dead? It's eye-eating time. Meow, meow, meow. Nom, nom.
Not that bad.
They're the little furry fucks of Satan. What are you on about?
I
love cats. Mostly because they're the little furry fucks of Satan.
With a little bit of salt.
No, I'd never eat a cat.
You probably already have if you've chopped it.
I was going to say, like, hungry enough. Like, then again, I'm like this. So anyway, I'm kind of a semi-cat person, so. But no, like, I can totally see what you're saying about fucking Evil Dead and shit, dude, because it really is. It's just like, $5 and a couple of friends, let's fucking do this.
It made average Joe feel like that they could achieve the movie that they want to achieve and be successful from it. Before that, everything had that kind of support from labels, from studios, from investors. But no, they did it on their own backs, just through love and passion.
And Sam Raimi's basement. Don't forget Sam Raimi's basement.
And the fact that it withstood the test of time.
Sam Raimi's basement? No, it was Rob
Tappet's basement. Sorry, thank you.
The movie. And it was his farmhouse basement. Yeah.
But like the fact that
we don't have a basement. Okay, put a floor
Oh.
door there, and then we'll shoot the basement somewhere else. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. But the fact that a lot of people don't want to give, like you said, any kind of like credit, but there's quite a few of them that have withstood the test of time, more so than some big budget fucking films that had like millions of fucking dollars.
Sorry.
And Brad Pitt and like Brad Pitt, big fucking names behind them. You know what I mean? Like some of those films have just kind of fallen in the cracks, but like here we are 20, 15, 30 years later, and it's like Evil Dead. And I mean, like,
can I ask a question? Has Brad Pitt done a horror movie? Oh yeah, he did fucking World War Z. Sorry, fucking I'm mental.
Yeah. No, he hasn't done a horror movie.
Thank you. I like nothing about that fucking movie.
That depends if
it's a zombie, so it's
hang on, just briefly. World War Z is a fantastic book. Fortunately, I have it in audiobook form, which works even better because the entire idea is that it's an entire book filled with transcripts of people that have survived the zombie apocalypse. It has nothing to do with what Brad Pitt was in. Like that film.
Has he been in any other horror movie?
Does it interview the vampires?
No.
Vampires,
right. I wouldn't call that a horror.
It's more of a dark drama.
Interview the vampire. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel. Well, he did zombie films and
No, it's just you. When you said the Brad Pitt name in your statement, I was like, huh. Why did he say that name? I was like, I can't think of him in any horror movies.
Because like over here, because like over here, like at one point Brad Pitt was like the big fucking name, and so like that's just like my fucking go-to.
Yeah, Brad Pitt was awesome. Affleck was a bomb at Phantoms though.
Appearance was on something like I'm sure Brad Pitt's first ever TV appearance was on something like Are You Afraid of the Dark or Goosebumps or something like.
Brad Pitt's first TV appearance was 21 Jump Street.
That's Johnny Depp, isn't it?
No. I think Mike's right, dude. He did like some kind of Tales from the Dark or Tales from the
Crypt or something like that.
Would have been after
street racing, wasn't it?
I just remember a scene where his hand got melted off, and it was just his bones, and he's screaming at his hand. And it's bad.
I won't lie to you. Giz seems pretty certain that it's 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, no, and like
he appears in like season 1 or 2 or something like that. There's an awful lot of actors that actually got their start in 21 Jump Street, not just Johnny Depp or Peter DeLuise, but
Johnny Depp.
But I like a lot of them got their breaks in like Tales from the Dark Side, like kind of small bits and shit.
Nightmares, something like that.
My point is that you're right. I'm sure Brad Pitt was in that stuff, but it would have Jump Street. As far as like that would have been
Johnny Depp. He got his start in The Nightmare on Elm Street as Glenn. Yeah. That was his first ever acting role. 100% on that one.
Okay. But I was using Johnny Depp
a lot because his daughter fancied him.
Who fancied him?
Wes Craven's daughter.
But my point was that there was a lot of
That's a weird way to get an acting job. My daughter wants to bang you. Cool.
Apparently, when it happened, Wes Craven was 2 actors and he couldn't decide. And his daughter said, "You need to pick Johnny Depp." And he said, "Why?" Because he's beautiful. So he picked him on his looks over the guy because it would attract more of a female audience.
Yeah, it was a good call.
Yeah, it worked.
Brad Pitt's first
quite a specimen.
Then Amber Heard came along and is it too soon to talk about Amber Heard?
How long? And he was the guy on the beach with a drink, and it was uncredited.
Sorry, what?
So, bring
in some movie called The the
point
Hump,
is
or
that,
called Hump in '87.
Brad Pitt,
And he was a guy
Brad
on
Pitt
beach
is
with a
guy
drink.
on beach with drink in
Yeah,
Jump Street probably would have been a year or
the
two after that. Then.
hunk.
yep, '87.
the other big actor that I remember coming in, being first introduced in horror is Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, he was in
Which-
Another World on television.
He was in
Critters 3.
He's in Critters.
Critters 3.
Yeah.
My man is nose.
There are
Hey,
two films that I
which
like
one?
Leonardo DiCaprio in: Critters 3 and Django Unchained. That's it.
okay,
Blood
but good.
Diamond. Blood
Yes.
Diamond was excellent.
He hit 21 Jump Street in '88. He hit Another World in '87. So 21 Jump Street was not his break.
All right. Point.
So my point was the two movies that which I am
Fact.
thankful
Sorry.
for: Texas Chainsaw Massacre, introducing real world horrors to cinema, and for letting just people, average Joe, being able to create with the right attitude the movie that they want to make. But I'm really curious because I've only met Carter tonight. I want to know what are the movies that you are thankful for.
Good segue.
All right, assholes. I guess I'll go last. So cool. Okay.
We saved the best to last, Princess. Don't worry.
Okay.
I was already like Mike. I was already going to give you like that was smooth, but then you like saved with him like smoother. Look, y'all go last, dude.
He knows how to rub my nipples.
Yeah. You were just all
I do,
sorts of
sweet.
pimps. Right.
I do.
You know, man, like, okay, so like I had a hard time picking tonight. You know, over here in the States, we do Thanksgiving and shit. And so I always trip over Thanksgiving. And it's a shit awful fucking movie when you watch it. And like I can already see Giz
It's
like,
enjoyable.
what the fuck? But it is.
I've never even heard of it until you mentioned it
Are
earlier
you
on. I was like,
oh, like okay, so
Four
it falls
or five?
into indie, like you know,
did-
with me making.
Yeah,
I
yeah, it
tried to
fucking
make
does.
this movie. It's like
Is it
it was like
is it a trauma
five-
movie?
No.
No, it's dude. It's like below. Like Trauma is like high school, like Hollywood style. Thanksgiving is like a maybe $2 budget,
High school Hollywood style.
but
What is that?
it falls into that whole like character archetype. You've got your jock, your you know what? Fuck it, she's a slut. Like everybody fucking called her that. She's easy throughout the whole fucking movie. So you have like your slut, your fucking smart girl, your hillbilly, and your geek or nerd. Maybe because like we get a math equation, he's like, I got this bitch's back up. So I guess like, you know, but it's horrible. I mean, fucking horrible, dude. Your dog could probably do better. But that's part of it. Like they really overdo this in the characters. You know what I mean? The fucking turkey itself's like think of Halloween masks and then like make it into a turkey and then put somebody's hand up to it. And it's just like a Halloween mask with a guy. Yeah. You know, and it's full of like fucking one-liners where like somebody's trying to kill the turkey and he pops foul motherfucker. Like it's just so many play on words.
That's actually kind of good.
Have you not seen this?
No.
I saw it a long time.
Well,
Yes,
that's going to be
I'll
up.
send you a fucking copy, dude. It's funny as fuck, you know.
That's going to be up.
Is there 4 or 5 of them now?
No, there's only
Is it
three.
few?
But
Is it
it's
three?
tech-
Only 3.
There's not three.
That's a statement
They
I didn't
skipped
think I'd
2.
hear about this movie. Only 3.
Okay, well here's the thing though. There's not technically a 2. They skipped it to fuck with people. So you have Thanksgiving and then Thanksgiving 3, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's like Thanksgiving 3, the brutal something.
So,
Brutal
which
thing.
was the 4th one, but it was actually the 3rd that were made.
Right. You know, and like it's awesome. The turkey killed a pilgrim back in the very first
Makes sense.
Thanksgiving. And right. This Indian was like, how dare you? So like he cursed them. And he was like the scariest necromancer kind of Indian. So this turkey's like 500 years old. And he was put into the whole, like, you can't come up totem This dog walks in the woods, pisses on the totem, knocks it over, and the turkey comes up. And he's like a 500-year-old cursed turkey. He's like, go fuck yourselves. And whoever woke me up, I'm going to go fuck your day up. And
God damn.
And it's like, five kids from college, but they all look like fucking 30.
Okay.
I mean, like hard 30.
Sunnydale High.
And so like, they're like, and one guy's like, oh, you know where we're at? We're at like Crawford. And like, so he tells the story of the whole like massacre of the turkey thing. And now the turkey comes back to get you. And as luck would have it, the turkey does. And so we watch these kids try to like take down this fucking turkey. And it is just such a shit-filled, awesome fucking movie that it's a yearly tradition. My kid was like, hey, dude, are we watching this today? And I'm like, fuck yes, we are, babe. Sit down. Like, but if you've not seen it, it's worth just knowing that this movie is in the fucking world. And it came out in like 08, 09.
It ranks along the lines of the Ginger Dead Man. It's that kind of cinema to expect.
And yet lower budget.
If you can believe it.
Right.
I can believe it.
And like they
quite easily
down because like at one point one of the characters like, hey dad, and her dad's like eye level with her. But then like they're coming back from school and the turkey killed her dad, skinned his face and is wearing it, and met her at the door. And she's now looking at like fucking ankle high. Hey dad. Hey, my daughter, how are you? And everything's kosher. Like, this is the level of film you're working with, dude. And it's just fucking awesome.
Okay, then.
I have seen it, and I can vouch. It's one of those movies it's fucking awful. But the randomness of everything that happens is what keeps you there watching, because you don't know what random shit is going to happen next. You really don't.
And they make fun of everything. They do the whole like montage of how to take down the turkey, and somebody's like, God, this is taking forever, and somebody steps up, bro, it's only been 5 minutes. Like, they make light of every little situation.
It's like, imagine a crossover between the Ginger Dead Man and Poultrygeist.
Talking about segues, my second film, Poultrygeist, Night of the Dead Chicken. I am completely thankful for that fucking movie.
I have to say, right?
You are a fine reader, dude. I dig you.
Fucking love Poultrygeist.
Poultrygeist is probably one of the most deliberately offensive movies I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is, dude.
It's perfect. It's a perfect movie.
It's like the musical side offend as many people as possible.
I'm going to do some DB at the moment. Go ahead.
But yeah, so no, like I said, I really dig Thanksgiving for everything it does. They really crank out the whole character archetype like we talked about earlier. And it shows that if I've got $5, God damn it, I'm doing a fucking movie. And I will figure out a way to put it on the shelves. And then you move into Poltergeist, which is definitely fucking.
That's like me with Sharknado, dude. I'm the same with Sharknado, where it's like it inspires me with hope that thing managed to spawn 8 fucking movies, and it's just like, as a film director, I'm like, there's always that gleam of light. I could just come up. I could come up with a shark in a tornado. You know.
Like,
except it was a sock.
Because like Thanksgiving just tells me like, okay, so I probably need like 10 people. I've got 3 friends. I'll figure the rest out. We're making this bitch. Like, it just gives me fucking hope, dude. Poltergeist, I love it for so many fucked up reasons. It's so offensive, but yet not in a bad way. Like, I don't know. Like, I just found it highly fucking entertaining.
I think it's because it deliberately tries to offend as many people as possible. That's what makes it acceptable. We're not zeroing in on any one person. We're telling you all fucking suck. So, you know.
I mean, like, we're talking about like somebody like opening up what would be considered a KFC here, or a chicken joint. And what was it? You know, the cemetery, like all of a sudden the whole place is haunted or cursed.
I thought it was a chemical spill that got into the chicken.
No. Like we fall back because at one point we even do like the Indian with the single tear, but he's like the drunk fucking Indian in the what's it called? No, during the picketing, because they were picketing the opening of the restaurant and shit. And so we've somehow now like angered the Indians, so this whole chicken chain is now cursed.
Guys, I think your mic is doing that thing again.
So I remember watching Poltergeist for the first time, and I knew to go in to expect the unexpected, but I was still kind of thrown off guard when I found out that it was a musical.
Oh my god, dude! Okay, so the first musical that broke out fucked me all up. I was not expecting that shit. When they broke into song, I was just like,
What really genuinely surprised me is I'm a music guy. My background's in music. You know, for those who don't know me, I wrote the GoreCast theme. Hello, and I was watching the movie. I was listening to. Let me just bring IMDb up again. Kate Graham, who is the love interest of Arby, and she has the most voice,
right?
And she's singing these songs with the titties out, and she's a beautiful girl, and she's belting these songs out, and it's so good. I'm like, far too good for this sack shit of movie.
And I think that also adds to it, because I was expecting like me fucking singing these parts, just a shit individual not being able to fucking sing, but they really harmonized. Like a lot of like they really found the right people to do these songs.
And the songs are competent. I'm not going to say they're good.
No.
But yeah, Kate Graham's performance is unbelievably good. It's like, why are you doing this? It's like, I'm so glad you've got your titties out because I'm a guy.
Right.
But
but like you said though, they were like, hey, so if you're easily offended, you may want to move to the left. If you don't think we're going to target you, we will. Because that's what that whole fucking movie does.
Yeah.
You know, like, you have the whole suicide bomber that's like working fries. You know, like they go out of their way to fuck with you.
I think there was one other thing that really caught me off guard, and that was the cameo by Ron Jeremy.
How did that possibly catch you off guard?
No, I'm not going to lie. It did. Because that was a bigger name than I expected to pop up in the fucking... I'm not going to lie, dude. I don't think of Ron Jeremy as like a
he'll
star,
pop up in anything.
Just weirdly, did you know that Ron Jeremy is in Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
And what?
Physically in Ghostbusters, you can see him in Ghostbusters.
He's one of the guys in the crowd.
No shit.
Yeah, the final scene of the movie where they're going into the Dana Barrett's building. Look up, what's going on up there? Yeah, there is Ron fucking Jeremy.
Dude, he pops up in the weirdest shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Just random cameo ever.
Oh yeah. No. So no, like I don't know. Like I personally, I guess like the reason I love this movie is because it offends everybody. And I'm like, dude, it's a movie. You know, like have fun. You know, like there was the crippled guy in the back. I'm like, dude, just have fucking fun. That's what a fucking movie should be. And this like wraps.
I think when it gets to a point,
such a nasty fucking bow. To me, I can't help but fucking love it.
I think when a movie gets to a point, if it's trying to be offensive, if it's going to be offensive, and it's only a single social demographic that's being offended, that's offensive. But if you're going to make a movie that's universally demographically offensive, it kind of neuters itself from being offensive.
Right.
Like, that movie's racist. Yeah, but it's racist to everybody. Like in a way, it's so inclusive that it's not racist.
Because in a way, and I hate to like make this bigger than it is, but like in a way, it kind of makes you stop and think like, why am I offended at this but not that joke? Like in a way, it kind of makes you kind of reevaluate. Like, is this all bad? No, it's not, bro. Just keep watching; it'll get worse. Like, you know what I mean? Like you have the opening of him making out with the girl in the cemetery. Oh, babe, I like what you're doing back there. What are you talking about, dude? With your hand. My hands are on your shoulder. And the zombie hand had reached up from the ground and like plugged him from the back. And yet he kept that finger because it broke off. And he kept that finger. He's like, babe, I've got our finger. Oh, that's fucked up. I did not think that was coming back around. Go you. All right.
Do you think Poltergeist should be seen as a pseudo Thanksgiving horror movie?
No. I'm just thankful that movie fucking exists.
See, I do, because you know what? It's like if you're a turkey on Thanksgiving, you're pretty...
Vengeance.
Thanksgiving is turkey holocaust. You got all the chickens thinking... And all the chickens are fucking shitting themselves. It's like, all the chickens are happy, the turkeys are fucked.
So yes, those are the fucking two films I'm thankful for. A shit-ass $2 movie called Thanksgiving and a $20 offensive film called Poultrygeist Night of the Dead Chicken.
Night of the Chicken Dead.
Thank you.
I genuinely love that movie.
And I love it. I'm like, God, I wish that they had made the name shorter because I can never remember all of it.
It's Night of the Living Dead, but it's Night of the Chicken Dead. But what I love most about that movie is introducing it to other people.
Yes. Oh, fuck yes, dude.
And watching their faces as they look at you in disgust halfway through the movie.
Oh,
find the trailer.
What have you made me do? What did you make me do?
Find the trailer, give it to your friend on your phone to watch the trailer and just record their reactions if you can, because they've got your phone. But it's one of the funnest things to do is to introduce people. There's a few others, like it's like Bunny the Killer Thing. That's a great movie to introduce people to. Love stuff like that. That are just so fucking weird and bizarre. I think Johnny introduced me to one once. Was it Killer Sushi?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dead
Sushi.
I've not seen that one
It's
yet.
fucking amazing.
Dead Sushi's fun.
It's fucking amazing.
I love those completely fucking bizarre, off-the-wall, random as fuck horror movies, which just leave you thinking, what the fuck have I just watched?
Fuck, I'm actually upset I didn't think of doing some mad Tokyo gore movie on this list now. Nerds.
Toilet of the Dead was a good one.
Oh, dude, what was that? It was about donuts.
I have seen a Killer Donut movie.
Is that what it was?
There was the Microwave Massacre. That's another one.
Microwave Massacre?
Oh, it's so bad. There's a Killer Microwave.
Yeah. Okay, Killer Donuts. That was the one I was thinking of.
Yes, this is B-movie bullshit. It's like... This should be up your alley.
No, Giz actually, contrary to the amount of bullshit I make him watch, does not actually like those movies.
To be honest, it's like, you know, the problem with horror to a lot of people is it's like a lowbrow kind of entertainment. But to a pure horror fan is, you could be on your own. You think, do I want to watch something highbrow horror? Maybe, I don't know, Silence of the Lambs is a great example.
No, Silence of the Lambs is more of a family over for the Sunday dinner and have a nice civilized evening kind of affair.
Bear with me.
With some Chianti.
Yeah, obviously.
Bear with me.
Before you eat your cousin.
As a horror fan, let me speak. You might want to watch, I'm going to use that as an example again, Silence of the Lambs, or you think, you know what, fuck it, I just want to watch something completely off the fucking wall, like Troll 2. And you can and you can enjoy it thoroughly for completely different reasons, but you could still hold both movies. One, an exceptional piece of cinema. The other one, a storm of failure of filmmaking, and still thoroughly enjoy both.
I can still I can find so many failed films and not pick Troll 2.
I love Troll 2.
He fucking loves Troll 2.
I cannot agree with you.
I don't. I'm not bothered if people agree with me. I still love it.
Carter, I'm going to nip this one in the bud right now because I've seen this argument happen already and it's going to go on for a while. He likes the movie. He's more than entitled to like the movie if he likes. I agree with you that it's an unmerciful pile of targ, but if he likes the movie, I like Sharknado. I can't judge anybody.
I wasn't looking for like an hour-long debate. I'm just like,
Oh no, I know you're not
like
looking
that.
for an hour-long debate. What I'm saying is there will be an hour-long debate.
If I start talking about Troll 2.
Troll 2 hurt my
The easiest
feelings.
way to explain it is, imagine if Nicolas Cage was a movie.
Yeah, I'm
Mom and Dad.
sure everybody's sold on that
movie.
there now. Sold Nicolas Cage as a movie.
I love the worst. It's like some of the, especially when it comes to the 80s B movies, the bizarre, eccentric ones like Street Trash. God, I love that movie. It's so bad, but it's so fun. What was the one where the dude gets the worm on the back of his neck, and he starts feeding him drugs? Brain Scan, not Brain Scan.
Oh, you're talking about oh shit.
It's in the same universe as Basket Case.
Yeah. Parasite?
No.
Fuck.
Katie McNeil says she's thankful for rubber.
No, you will not be thankful for fucking rubber.
Rubber is fun,
Bro,
but
no,
she can like.
Oh, I know the guy that did Rubber.
She can like the movie if she wants.
New film.
She's more than entitled to like the movie.
No,
Yes, she can.
No.
Yes, she can.
Not that
No,
one.
There's a new film by the guy that did Rubber coming out about a giant fly that two lads stumble across and decide to try and train.
Oh my god! So he decided to move from a fucking tire. Go whatever. No.
Actually, speaking of trains, moving on to my pick. There we go. Perfect. It's a perfect segue. Okay, full discretion, people.
brain damage. It was brain damage.
Full discretion. My pick has nothing to do with trains, but I was just moving it along because otherwise. Okay, so first one up. It's a new one, and I have reasons why I like it, but it's called, I hope ye have seen it. No, not saved to downloads. Oh yeah, no, if I just do that. There we go. Perfect. It was, when was this again? Was it 2018, Giz? Little Monsters?
2019.
Little Monsters. It's an Aussie movie about this poor, hapless, down and out wannabe rock star who has a nephew. He's living with his sister because he's so down and out, and the sister's son.
It's his son.
It's not his son.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
Sorry, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
His
he's the uncle.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
So anyway, the kid's going to school. He forgets something. The uncle goes to give the kid something, so he's able to go off on this school trip. Or there's a school trip happening. As he gets to the school, he realizes that the nephew's teacher is fucking rocking, and he's like, "God damn, I've just been dumped by my girlfriend and my band. It ain't done none too well." And she's pretty fit, so I might try and chance the teacher. So he goes off and reluctantly ends up going on this school trip with all of the kids. This sounds like a bunch of paff right now, I understand. But then they get to the school trip. There's an asshole guy who's a kid's entertainer there. And then next thing you know, there's fucking zombies everywhere. Like, literally, that's what happens. It's zombies. And I love this movie. And I'm thankful this movie exists. Literally because when I saw Shaun of the Dead, I was like, there's never going to be a zombie comedy that's going to be that level of entertaining. And Little Monsters came into my life, and I was like, it's just that it's still scary as fuck, but it's still hilarious. And that was the thing with Shaun of the Dead. When Shaun of the Dead was doing zombie movie, it did zombie movie fucking well. And when Shaun of the Dead was doing comedy horror movie, it did comedy horror movie very well, and was that perfect blend of everything. And Little Monsters is the exact same. It's when it's doing zombie movie, it does zombie movie very fucking well. And when it does dark comedy horror movie, it does dark comedy horror movie very well. And sometimes it brings adorable kids into situations that they should never be in. But thankfully the Force exists, and you know.
That was great. That was
so good.
Brilliant.
It's so good.
Segue on the little kid, because I dug Little Monsters, but did you ever get around to watching Cooties?
Yeah.
Yes. I really enjoy Cooties except for the ending.
Yeah, like the ending.
I wanted Elijah Wood to win.
I dug Cooties, and like so when Little Monsters came around, I was like, this is better than fucking Cooties. Like they just did Like, I hate to say it, like they did all of the jokes and the visuals better than Cooties.
So I remember Cooties came out. I think it was the same week as A Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
That's a great movie.
Fucking love
I
that.
fucking love that one.
That's a great movie.
Really
I love that
enjoyed
movie.
But when you said Little Monsters, as somebody who's older than Giz,
I don't know why.
You mean characters?
For the movie, you remember the one with Fred Savage and Howie Mandel?
Little Monsters?
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's the monster under his bed, but he's a nice monster.
Right.
I've not seen another one because that was a good not a gateway movie, but a good semi dark movie for kids.
It was that in between kids
Monster
kind of
Squad for me.
goosebumps versus like adult horror.
Yeah,
It's been on both sides because like I remember fearing the monster under my bed, but now I'm like checking under the bed for my kid. Like it was a good mix between it. Like me and my kid could sit there. Yeah, Dad. Oh, I know, dude. I thought about that too. Like that was a good one.
This movie's just come into my head. I've not seen it for years, but Cameron's Closet. If you ever saw that one.
Can't say that.
Again, taking the premise of a monster in the closet as opposed to a monster under the bed. But Cameron's Closet was a real no fucking around horror movie for kids. And
sorry. I may have misled you as to what sort of movie this is. This movie is not for kids.
Not a kid's film.
This is not. It's got kids in it. It's not a kids movie whatsoever.
It is, however, a very. I've never said this before, right? This is probably the only ever horror zombie feel good movie whereby at the end of the film you're like, this was really, and fair dues, right? Because the character
and Shaun of the Dead
teacher.
There's a nice happy ending. He's back with the missus. They're in the house. Okay. They got a nice life, and his dead friend is in the shed, but they can still play video games. Life is grand.
I was going to say Miss Caroline in Little Monsters very much earns what I consider a very much honorific category of the babysitter, because it's more than just looking after the kids, like making sure the kids are, and that's what works so well about this film. The fact that
she's like when those kids are in danger, she's like a mama fucking lion. It is crazy.
Yeah, dude.
But it's more than that though, because she manages to insulate them from what's going on.
Yeah.
So one of the big things is
none of them really saw anything that went down.
Yeah, they managed. The kids are.
Window, it's cool.
The kids are aware that there's some weird shit going on, but they think they're all. What does she convince them of? It's some. It's part of.
She runs in covered blood at one point. And it's like, what happened to you? Oh, I was just in a jam fight. Can I have some? No, it's all gone off. And then, but what's great is at the end of the film, right? You have like all the parents of these kids being brought in, and they're being told what happened, and they're like, "Oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do?" And there's a serious military guy going, "Look, I know you're all panicking right now, but they're fine. Whatever way it went down, that teacher, those two teachers,
they have no idea what's going on.
No idea what's going on. They're all mentally fine."
They made them think they were playing a zombie game as part of the day's activities, and everyone were just actors.
Yeah.
And somehow she did a really good job of, the kids saw plenty of zombies, but they never saw the zombies mangling anybody or anyone being ripped asunder or ripped to shreds or anything. They did see that. They did see her nearly remove a man's testicles with her hand, but other than that,
he deserved it.
He did deserve it. I'm not disputing that. But goddamn, even though he was an asshole, I could feel those little nuts crunch. I was just like, oh no.
No, she stuck him with a horn. She stabbed him.
She stabbed him in the leg.
Yeah, she stuck a seashell to him and then threatened him in as polite a way as possible. It was great.
The diplomacy out of
that. But it also
lady.
had character development, though.
Yeah,
because old boy showed up, went from like his own little boy, kind of like, it's not my fault, it's everybody else's, to hold on, babe, hold my beer, I'll be right back, and charging out, like trying to fucking do some shit.
Yeah.
Was he a superhero? Fuck no. But he was like, he actually stepped up to try, compared to like I'm not.
Yes, there's proper character growth by the end of the movie. Like the uncle isn't as much of a raging, self-indulgent asshole as he was at the start of the thing. Don't get me wrong, he's lovable, but he's a raging, self-indulgent asshole. But he's a lovable, raging, indulgent asshole. I tried to say that way too many times in the space of a short period. and the words wouldn't come out of my mouth. Yeah, if you haven't seen Little Monsters, definitely go check it out. As I said, I'm just really thankful because when I saw Shaun of the Dead, I was like, this is perfection in this very specific, perfect balance of two types of genre. And I didn't think it would happen as entertainingly again. And it did.
And that was for me, like when I saw Cooties, it was like that cute, like, oh, so we're going to throw kids in because you didn't see really any kids in Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was, oh, this is kind of cool. But then Little Monsters like fucking blew that one out of the water.
I need to see this.
It's fucking brilliant.
Really
it's great.
good.
It's real fun. It's
Right,
great.
you were saying about feel-good horror films. I'm just curious to what you three thought, because I fucking despised it. Warm Bodies.
It can go fuck itself. Sorry, that came out of nowhere.
Thank you. That'll do, Giz.
Okay,
Hang on, because there's a couple of films that are all the same and they're all shite.
It's a zombie.
And the idea is that
He starts to become slightly more sentient than your average zombie.
hold up.
okay,
This is the
unless it's-
teenage Romeo and Juliet zombie, not zombie.
Okay. The only time that entire notion has ever worked
It's Romeo and
was
Juliet.
in the
Oh, okay.
No, well, that wasn't a zombie. No, in this case, the only time the zombie human love affair bit has ever worked was in the fantastic Only Fools and Horses like The Odd Family Zombie for Sale.
Oh yeah.
What? I've not heard of that one. And
It's brilliant.
okay.
It's fucking awesome.
There's Return
And
of
it's
the
the
Living
only-
Big 3.
I just feel like Mike's making show my cards. Like I watch a lot of, I get bored. All right, I'm just gonna open with I get bored, and I've got a lot of free time. As a kind of Twilight zombie film, Warm Bodies was not bad. Like,
Dude.
Sorry, hang on. Sorry, hang on a moment. Hang on. I'm gonna fucking sorry, pause. Where's the pause button for this
here we
podcast?
go.
1 moment. Pause. 1 minute. You're
Oh,
gonna call.
well,
Hang on.
I'm
One
back.
flying fucking minute here now. Hang on. You're gonna call Katie McNeil out over Rubber, and you're gonna say Warm Bodies wasn't bad. You
oh,
fucking
God,
raging
2 hours of
nutcase.
fucking tire rolling? Yes, I'm gonna call her out. I watched a tire fucking roll for an hour and 20 minutes.
And it was more
And, like,
entertaining
like,
than the zombie
you
trying to get his
psychic
fuck on with a human
shit.
being.
All right, but this had like Nicholas Holt, who future X-Men became the Beast, and Dave Franco and Rob Corduroy.
I don't care
And
if he
fuck
became
John
Jesus Alanis Morissette. Fucking Christ. It's a shit movie.
No, I did not say it was fucking awesome. I said Twilight tween zombie.
For shame.
Romeo
for shame.
Juliet thing
For
was
shame.
not bad.
For shame.
No, I
shame.
No, I like it better than fucking Rubber. All right,
For shame.
and that in itself should be for shame. I liked it better than fucking Rubber.
Yeah, you should be ashamed
know.
that you liked it better than Rubber. At least Rubber is like,
I'm sorry that I don't like watching a fucking tire roll through a fucking desert for like 2
I'm
hours.
sorry, I don't like watching a girl fucking for an hour and a half wondering, am I going to be a necrophiliac or am I not going to be a necrophiliac? What am I going to do? What am I going to do?
I was
Open
kind
the
of
cold
curious
one
to
and
see
get
how
it
that
over
was going to
with.
play out. Is she or is she not? I don't know.
What have
I
I
don't know.
have 3 zombie anthology books up there. The Books of More Blood. I'm pretty sure the 2 better Romeo and Juliet style zombie stories. One of them is like this
What?
really good thing about it. Basically, zombieism is a disease. You can recover from it, but you can slip back in. So it's called, starts with an R, remission? No. Regression?
Rombies.
No.
No.
Relapse.
Okay.
There we go.
Relapse.
Okay. And a version of that, or something similar to that, did get done into a film whereby zombieism is a disease and people got better and then they can relapse into it again. But my point being, that was a better fucking romance story. And that was basically a guy
What
accidentally
pissed me
scaring a
off?
nurse.
What pissed me off most about Warm Bodies was this whole concept that the only thing that can cure zombification is love.
No, that in itself was bullshit. I will agree because, like, I've liked other films that have tried to follow that.
That's the
BBC
whole
had-
premise of the movie.
Yeah.
Love
I
can
like-
cure being a
Okay,
zombie.
I liked a lot of fucking movies up till the end. All right.
I think
I
I think you actually don't like this movie and you just can't admit it to yourself.
No, because sadly I've watched it a couple times. All right. 'Cause, again, I was
I'm
fucking
gonna
bored
go
3 in the
for some
morning.
sex
Right?
because there's no other reason why.
This movie's fucking awesome. Okay, moving on, because otherwise it's going to be a 2.5-hour podcast. Right. Oh yeah. Okay. Right. So my last pick is Friday the 13th, because I just fucking love Friday the 13th. It's been such a big chunk of my life. So Friday. Yeah, there we go. Friday the 13th. Yeah, I just oh no, things are moving. Yes, Friday. Oh no, 2 seconds. The image is all wonky. Why are you so oddly sized? Anyway, yeah. I just remember seeing Friday the 13th the first time. The whole reveal that it was actually Pamela Voorhees was good, and then you're kind of like, oh, okay, so it's not a big crazy guy in a hockey mask, and then you see the crazy little monster dude just pop up out of the water at the end, and it's just spawned. Okay, admittedly, not all of them are fucking out of the ballpark horror movies, but it's a franchise that I just learned to love over the years. I can, not unlike Carter, it's one of those things I can just throw it on whenever. I'll be happy to throw on any miscellaneous Friday the 13th at some stage, bar Jason Goes to Hell. Cause
See, this is why I don't talk, because I just get judged later.
he's getting.
I get judged at the time, so it doesn't make a difference to me.
We got you. I've been very fair about letting everybody, but like, you shouldn't. I won't lie to you, dude. If you hadn't blatantly given out to people for liking movies so much during the show, I would have just let all of that slide. But I was just like, oh, okay, so he's allowed to scream at people saying you're not allowed to like that movie. I was like, we could do that. I feel Warm Bodies is a hill I'm willing to die on.
I put forward an unpopular opinion.
Cool than rubber.
That is that I think Jason Voorhees is kind of poor.
Like, as a killer
As an
character?
antagonist, yeah.
Why?
Wait.
Because he's a second-rate Michael Myers wannabe with a hint of Deadite thrown in.
Yeah. There's
nothing original about him.
What's the problem?
I think,
Yeah, Michael Myers was only good for 2 films.
Like, in that
He's
sense,
scored
is
some
it,
amazing kills in horror history, but as an actual, he's considered one of the big three, which is Myers, Jason, and Freddy. But I think he's by far the weakest. I think there's better candidates to take the place of Jason. I think Leatherface is a great example because he stands on his own 2 feet as a unique killer.
right,
But
is
I
it
never
on
really
its own?
cared for Jason Voorhees, but I adore Pamela Voorhees because nobody saw that coming.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah,
You're in the toilet.
I was.
But as far as like,
I just like the Friday the 13th movies, dude. And to be honest, I mean, like,
I can watch
yeah.
them.
Well, here's the thing, right? The kills are way more original than, like, don't get me wrong. You got Freddy, where like obviously he's in people's dreams, so shit's able to get proper fucking wacky. But I mean, Michael Myers. Let's be honest, like, the kills aren't fucking particularly.
2 films.
They're not particularly original. There's a lot of just picking people up and stabbing them with a knife.
They didn't need.
like, how many ways can you kill a motherfucker with like a butcher with a fucking?
How many ways can you kill?
It's
Yeah,
like with
but like,
Myers.
Mike wasn't afraid to fucking, get outside of the box thinking going when it came to fucking murdering people. Do you know what I mean?
Jason.
Or sorry, Jason. Yeah,
But
sorry.
That is the kills is not what makes the horror movie for me. It's the atmosphere.
Yeah, but this is
It's
but
the
this is
thing
my
is-
movie. I'm thankful for.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
The
thought
Halloween
this was.
movies.
I thought this was a discussion. I thought this
Yeah.
was a podcast of conversation and difference of opinion.
You clearly thought wrong.
right?
You clearly thought wrong. You have not seen the total
We're being judgy.
dictatorship that is the GoreCast, obviously.
No, it's like I fully appreciate Jason's place in horror history. I think, yeah, visually he's an icon. I thought his design was great, but I thought him as an individual antagonist was completely
But I mean,
uninspired.
he's not any more.
But
Well, to be fair, hang on.
But
Mike
isn't he?
Myers has 2 films that are actually worth a shite, not counting the remake that got happened. You have Halloween 1, you have Halloween 2. After that, Mike Myers becomes as
Jason.
dead trope as
Yeah.
you can possibly get. Whereas
Well, still with
Jason,
Myers.
at least with the exception of the Jason goes, at least like what Johnny was trying to say, Jason manages to, okay, he's still the no talking, walking shark, but at least he's mixing things up with how he does things. And
There's a level of evolution to him as the movies go on.
There's more bullshit thrown in.
Not really. Like, there's a lot more weathering and stuff. And
Just thrown in for the Halloween movies.
But
yeah.
Okay, but like, so you pointed out
Not
he's a mix of
Bullshit,
Deadite
too.
and so
he
like
is.
Mike,
That was confirmed in part 4, I think it was, where you go to Pamela's house and you find the Kandarian dagger and the Necronomicon to imply that he's been brought back to life through the Book of the Dead.
Yeah.
But it's like the first one will always be my favorite because I love the concept.
Yeah, but the first one is a fucking.
I believe that was the first.
The first one is a fucking classic.
First movie female with a classic female antagonist.
And it was also one of those first killers where you could kind of get on the killer's side as to what the whole premise of her murdering people is. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was a genuine story behind Pamela Voorhees. Sorry, not trying to blow a horn on anything, but like, seeing as we're having a discussion in a podcast, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a load of people show up at a house, the guy's fucking psycho, and his family are psycho, and they do psycho shit. Fucking Michael Myers in Halloween is, I went psycho one day, or probably have been psycho most of my life, got locked up for a while, got out, went psycho all over town, and all of that kind of thing, because I'm an evil bad guy psycho. Whereas Pamela Voorhees actually has a deep story behind her. Do you know what I mean? It's like my son got fucking essentially murdered up at this fucking camp because of neglect.
But like, okay, but Mike,
thing, I just don't understand the fanaticism behind Jason Voorhees. Why is he more deserving of this kind of fame other than, say, I don't know, Cropsey is a great example.
Who?
Exactly.
Whoa, wait, who?
Exactly.
Cropsey.
From The Burning.
I get it. Like, I heard the name. I just don't know who that is.
From The Burning, he's the guy with the shears.
The Burning.
I'd imagine a lot of it has to do with the hockey mask.
It's like the people that are far more deserving of greater recognition within horror antagonists than Jason, because he is a plagiaristic antagonist.
Hey, Mike, you talking about film?
Hey, dude, like, if you really go through his kills and stuff, he's far from plagiaristic. He gets shit done.
Has to do with where he kills people. I'm on about the character himself as an individual antagonist.
Okay, so
any character could have pulled those kills.
So
Mike Myers was designed to be a human shark. Jason Voorhees was also designed to be a human shark.
Yeah, exactly. That's
them both been human sharks are where the similarities end. Like, by your own admission earlier, Jason Voorhees is a fucking, essentially a vengeance demon deadite. Whereas Michael Myers Michael Myers is just a dude.
That's what I'm saying. It's his lack of originality. The only thing that makes him stand out from other previously conceived antagonists is a hockey mask.
I'm really not going to lie. Like, The Burning sounds like Friday the fucking 13th. The biggest name on there is Jason Alexander.
Yeah, I can tell you for a fact The Burning is not like Friday the 13th.
It's
very different.
But why seems to be like Cropsey?
At a summer camp, some teenagers, like, as I was reading through it, it sounded like...
there's a lot more telekinetic pyro activity going on than...
Oh, okay.
It's like my number one Friday the 13th movie is the first one with Kevin Bacon and Betsy Palmer. But my second one that actually has Jason in is, I think it's part 5. Is it The Next Generation, New Generation, or something like that? Where it's basically Jason versus Carrie.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
I hate to admit I enjoy
My only issue with that movie is that they literally just added in that whole teenage angle to just, we just need 5 people we can just off very quickly. Like, there was no substance to the teenagers. Like, there's not a lot of substance to the teenagers in the movies as you go along anyway. But there's a little bit of following them where it was really quickly of, I'm staying with my mom and the psychiatrist here. Oh, by the way, there's all these teens next door who are all up for a raunchy weekend. Do you want to come in? Don't mind if I do. Oh, something happened. I get to show that I've got some telekinetic powers. That night, Jason just mows through them. Let's get to the psychic shit. Which I don't have a problem with. I'm just kind of like, you should have just stuck on the psychic shit.
Okay, but like, so Mike pointed out to me that, like, you pointed out, like, it was a mix of Deadite versus Texas Chainsaw Massacre. All right,
Michael Myers.
Michael Myers. In that same instance, though, that mixing, isn't it kind of also like Bill's own character, because it's It's not
But he
one or
has
the
no
other.
character.
It's a different character because it's a mix of the two, though.
But he has no character. He just exists to kill, exactly like Myers. There is no other thing that goes through his head. I mean, try to imply it in some cases. I know they implied it in Freddy versus Jason.
He doesn't just exist to kill. Like, he's doing what Mama told him. That's the whole point of why he continues on. Like, he's a guy with a mission.
He has his agenda because Mom's like, fuck those teenagers, babe. They let you hang.
And whatever chance they ever had of living, I'd imagine went out the window when fucking baby Michael Myers saw his mom's head get whapped clean off her fucking shoulders at the side of the beach.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like, as incentive goes, I mean, like, if you think about it, the guy, he's like, Michael Myers just likes killing people. Jason Voorhees got drowned by a bunch of kids leaving him in a fucking lake because he was neglected. Then when he finally came back as a Kandarian demon, has to watch his mom get her head lobbed clean off her fucking shoulders by one of the fucking kind of pricks that got him drowned in the fucking first place.
Okay.
And because, hey, Mike, because you were asking, it's Friday the 13th, The New Blood.
Yeah.
The New Blood.
Next Generation is Texas Chainsaw.
7. So that was 7.
That's very bad. Although Matthew McConaughey was the fucking bomb in Next Generation.
Matthew McConaughey, yes.
He's a fuck. He's so good. He's so good in that movie.
The rest of it.
Matthew McConaughey is so good. You do whatever you fucking want, man, as long as it gets roughly along the lines of the script, and we'll do a fucking what that diddly do. Yeah.
But Texas Chainsaw 2 is still one of my favorite sequels of all time.
I always say that that's the perfect sequel.
It's not the perfect sequel, but it's such a good one. I think a perfect sequel should follow at least the theme of the original. The second one was more comedic. It changed its tone, but I still love it.
Unfortunately,
like
we talk about all these fucking franchises, but I feel like it could be like a thing, like 1, maybe 2. We'll give 3 of all these franchises were good, and then it like completely went off the fucking rails the longer it went.
Well, what happens is, if you go back to the 80s, especially when it comes to these long-running franchises, whether it be Halloween, Friday the 13th, or Nightmare on Elm Street, is that they know that the horror movie turns a good profit around the Halloween time because people want to be scared. They want to see these horror movies.
Yeah.
So they try and churn out all these films from pre-established franchises to cash in on that influx of demographic that wants to watch horror movies. So they were churning out horror movie after horror movie after horror. Almost
and
20
they didn't
years.
really care about the storyline. They just want.
To that trend, because they did, which people got on board with. They loved the mask, they loved the boiler suit, they loved the machete, not the boiler suit, the grey get up, and they did create an icon, and it is a great icon. But what's behind that icon is so uninspired, which is why I don't think that Jason is deserving as his status as other antagonists.
Fair enough.
Because he's just an amalgamation of pre-existing properties.
Like so many others.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like so many others, yeah. Which is why I think in the last 20 years, I could probably count on one hand how many original horror antagonists there's been. As much as you dislike it, Jigsaw is definitely one of them.
Yeah, he's great.
Jigsaw is definitely one.
It's funny, though, to me anyways, who is iconic and who's not. You look at, like, what was the boy, the clown from... the fuck was that? Not
Terrorizer.
VHS. Thank you. You know, it's funny makes iconic and who doesn't. Oh, throughout
Terrorizer.
It's not Terrorizer. It's All Hallows Eve and Terrifier.
Terrifier.
Oh, all right. Yeah, Art the Clown.
Yeah, Art. Thank you.
That's what it was. On his way. Art the Clown is well on his way to becoming a modern culture icon.
Okay, but that's my point. Like, you know, it's funny, you know, as we look through all of our fucking horror films, and I mean, we've had so many killers that are like one-hit wonders, franchises, stuff like that, it's funny to see who is like those ranks of iconic, like Art the Clown. And it was weird because I'm like, it's a fucking clown. Like, what's so special about him? Then is
yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
like
The brutality is what really makes Art stand out.
right. Like, and I can't remember the name. Johnny just said the name of the movie.
Terrifier.
Terrifying.
No,
All
before
Hallows
that.
Eve.
All Hallows Eve.
Oh.
You know, he popped up in a 2-second fucking spot throughout a fucking movie, but all of a sudden everybody's like, "Oh, give me a fucking movie." So we got Terrifier.
Well, in fairness, in All Hallows Eve, he's actually fairly prominent throughout the movie.
No, but I just mean like, but he's not killing motherfuckers like every 2 seconds.
No, he's not. He is in fucking
Creeping
Terrifier.
some motherfuckers here. Yeah, right. No, in Terrifier. But I just mean like when he viewed in All Hallows Eve, he was like the creepy guy in the cafe. He was the creepy guy here in the hallway. Like, but everybody hooked onto that, and they were like, "Dude, give me more art." So we got Terrifier. And I'm not gonna lie, I dig Terrifier as the movie. You know what I mean? But it's just funny that this guy in a hockey mask, this guy in like some fucking leather or human skin, this guy in nothing. Like, it's just weird what we grab onto to like start building up into that iconic status that's going to be up there with like Les and fucking Michael.
I think what it comes to Art the Clown is that he triggered a current fear of the killer clown, which has become massively popular over the last 10 years or so.
Your mic's doing that thing again, Giz.
Yeah. And basically they picked up on, but people seem to have a love for disturbing movies. The more violent, the more brutal does sell. You know, it almost seems that extreme gore is a bit like sex in modern production, for the fact is gore sells,
Barbie.
sex sells. If you can mix the two together, which he did in Terrifier, because you had these two beautiful girls who were stripped naked, one of them cut in half with a hacksaw.
Yeah.
It's like it had everything in that one shot.
Right.
It had of the extreme demands of our demographic of boobs and extreme gore. It was there. And I think that very, very well is if you look at horror as a business and you're listening to the demand of your clientele, they delivered Terrifier, which I think is why it's remembered so well so recently and why people are crying out for more. But if they don't deliver on the second one to be more brutal and be more sexualized, I think the next movie will either confirm he becomes a pop culture icon or becomes forgotten about.
So you think he's still teetering?
He is teetering, and he's so close because, like I said, the filmmakers have met the demand of what people want, and they've delivered it incredibly well. If they could do it a second time, Art the Clown will become the current pop culture icon. Or the next.
Like I said, I just wonder how that happened. You know, like I said, because I mean, you flip on so many streaming services, you can throw a stone and find a slasher film, be it Cursed, fucking Fork, or whatever. There are so many different kind of could be iconic killers if that franchise takes off. And so it's just weird to see how some do and some don't.
All right, I'm gonna.
It's interesting, you know, as a horror fan for so many years, it's like all these different killers that have appeared that haven't been able to achieve that kind of status.
Right.
It's a shame more haven't been expanded upon further.
It just seems like that should be bigger than it is. Sorry. What's up, Jeff?
We're going to start rounding off because we're hitting 2 hours. So, all right, guys, everyone, thanks for joining us. Sorry about all the crashes and stuff that happened earlier. As it's customary on a Sunday night, myself and Giz are going to be back doing GoreCast here at the usual GoreCast time, same GoreCast channel, where we're going to be talking about a load of really original monsters that showed up in horror movies, like kind of designs or functionality that you haven't seen before or see often. And as always, also on American Horrors, we're going to be doing Monsters That Did It Their Way, which is the TV episode based on the podcast, which will be playing 8:30 p.m. CST and whatever that equates to is GMTs, only on American Horrors. And if you have Roku, use channel code AMHOR to add American Horrors to your Roku listings, and otherwise watch on www.americanhorrors.com, strictlystreaming.com, or Tubi TV. And other than that, I'd like to thank Buzz and Carter. No, Buzz isn't here. I'd like to thank Mike and Carter and Giz. And we have a trailer for the show coming up.
It all worked out.
Pseudo Buzz.
Yeah. Pseudo Buzz. And other than that, we'll catch you all at the end of the weekend where we're going to be talking about some other sort of mad horror bollocks. GoreCast out.
Okay, so monsters that did it their way.
Yeah.
Really cool monsters.
Yeah.
That you don't see normally in horror movies.
Yeah.
I was thinking if you go one, then I go one, then you go one,
So
then I go
me
one.
to you, from me to you.
Yeah.
Chuckle Brothers.
Yeah. Waka waka.
Hmm.
Okay. You pass me the mic?
Yeah, no bother. Okay. Well, if you want to join myself and hopefully Johnny this Sunday at 8:30 p.m. CST and whatever that equates to in GMTs, where we're going to be discussing some monsters that did it their way, and hopefully I'll have gotten him back out of whatever Jesus that is. Oh.
Don't forget, if you enjoy our Madcap GoreCast horror hijinks, we stream 3 nights a week over on YouTube, Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays, where you can see a little bit of this. Turd spoon, god damn, I knew there was something I wanted to bring up in the... God damn, I don't know what a fucking turd spoon is, but I'm mad to...
Get it pretty in depth.
Most definitely some of this.
With a new 2009 twist. She pulls out of her vagina.
I'll give it to her though, because like, you know how like magicians kind of like do something and they pause dramatically? She took that dramatic pause.
And occasionally some of this.
Our favorite Halloween movies.
What's up,
And the rest
GoreCasters?
is-
Welcome back here to the GoreCast. Yeah, okay, I'm here. I'm back.